Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Bah-ram you, bah-ram you. To your breed, your fleece, your clan be true, sheep be true, bah-ram you. Hey everybody, welcome to the Viewmasters. Episode 288, Pig. My name is Joe.
My name is Eric.
Hello Eric.
Hello, Joe.
How are you?
Confused.
What's wrong? What's wrong, buddy?
What?
What's wrong?
What just happened? Do we need to start over?
No, we watched a pig movie.
Uh-huh.
So I was saying my favorite quote from the pig movie.
Okay. And what pig movie is that?
That's Babe.
Okay.
Yeah, we watched Babe, right?
No. No, we did
No?
not. No. Never seen it.
Never. Okay. Well, you've sufficiently made me feel dumb, Eric.
I'm sure somebody out there will love what just happened.
Yes, I'm sure they will. How are you?
Oh, I guess I'm okay. Actually, no, I'm not. I am not okay at all.
What's wrong?
I just watched Pig.
It was, yeah.
I am empty and nothing means anything.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. That was true before the movie started.
Sure, but way to shine a spotlight on it, movie.
Fair enough. Yes. Yeah. This movie was rough.
Yep. I'm sorry, Joe.
But like it's okay. It was rough in a good way.
Oh, all right.
Like it's really good. I really liked it. I'm just gonna say right off the bat.
No, this movie is excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just heavy stuff.
Yep. So I had been wanting to. So we are actually talking about the movie Pig, starring Nicolas Cage. And I had been wanting to see it for quite a while. I'd heard nothing but excellent reviews, but also heard nothing about what the actual movie was, other than the basic tagline. So I went in pretty blind to what the actual movie was, and I was not prepared.
Yeah, I had sort of had the same experience. Like I'd heard it was good, but I didn't know what it was about. Mm-hmm. And so when it started with them, like with Rob and his pig, just sort of living by themselves out in the woods, I was like, oh, so this is probably going to be like just a really quiet, like just him and his pig, maybe a couple other characters that will show up at some point. I thought it was going to be less action-packed than it was.
I mean, it's not exactly action-packed.
It's not exactly, but it has more action in it than I expected there to be.
Yeah.
Just from the opening of the movie. But it was good. I liked where it went.
Yeah. So I knew that this was, about a man whose pig gets kidnapped and he goes after it. And I guess from that I expected sort of a, not quite John Wick, but just a revenge drama movie. about a man just trying to get his pig back.
Yeah.
It is that, but it is also absolutely not that either.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I feel like Rob is just like, it's what if John Wick was essentially a nice guy, like just a nice quiet guy.
Yeah.
And
John Wick is.
Sure. I mean, yeah, Keanu Reeves is for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rob doesn't go around killing people. That we know of.
Sure.
But yeah, it was. I feel like I've seen the first two John Wick movies and they're fine. They're enjoyable action revenge movies.
Right.
This I feel like has like the best way I can describe it is I feel like there's a lot more heart to this movie than there is to the John Wick movies. It's just like, at least that's how I see it, is just like the way that he approaches things and connects with people is, and I know it's fundamentally different from John Wick, but it's what sets it apart for me.
I mean, I like the first John Wick movie. I think it's great. It's a, it starts out rough, but it is essentially at its heart just a fun action movie. And the other John Wick movies can pretty much just go fuck themselves.
I haven't seen the third one, which the only reason I would want to watch it is for Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, you're fine, having heard his appearances on Comedy Bang Bang.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, that is pretty much the extent of his role in that movie.
Gotcha. Good to know.
I don't like those films because the first John Wick is just a real simple premise, and it just takes it and runs with it. 2 and 3 start building bullshit that I hate.
Mythology.
Like clans and mythology and families and backstory and world building and fuck all that. I hate it. But yeah, so while Pig and John Wick definitely have some small things in common, they are two vastly different movies.
You're gonna hate Pig 2 when we find out that Rob is actually a member of a secret cabal of highly trained chefs.
I mean, they kind of went there in this movie.
A little bit.
But not annoyingly so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I'm going to diverge yet again and talk about a third movie.
Okay.
Liam Neeson's The Grey.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that or not.
Is that the one where he turns into a wolf?
I'm sorry, you cut out?
Is that the one where he turns into a wolf or something?
No.
No, okay. What am I thinking of?
Wolf with Jack Nicholson?
Maybe that is what I'm thinking of.
No, it is, however, the one where he does tape tiny bottles of alcohol to his knuckles and fist fights a wolf.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So that movie gets a lot of shit because of that, honestly.
Sure.
Which, spoiler for that movie, that is the very last second of the movie.
Okay.
The rest of the movie, however, is just a meditation on the inevitability of death and that we should all just fucking accept it because it's gonna happen.
Okay, all right.
And I really felt a deep kinship between The Grey and this movie.
I can see that. Yeah.
So I spoiled it for you already, but I did not take a nap during this movie.
I'm really proud of you.
And in fact, I pretty much watched it uninterrupted, no looking at my phone, et cetera, et cetera. Not being on Twitter helps.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend did text me at one point, and I texted her back that I am watching the most nihilistic movie that I have seen in a while. I think at that point it had been maybe the third time that Nicolas Cage just goes on a... Like he doesn't give a lot of monologues or anything, but he gives a couple of speeches just about how just everything is empty and worthless.
Yeah.
And, boy, it was really hitting me hard.
Yeah, the speech that he gives to the chef at the restaurant that they go to,
yes,
in particular, is fine work, and I felt it hard.
Yep. Yeah. When the movie was over, my girlfriend texted me again, and I was just like, I just spent the last 40 minutes crying, and I cannot honestly explain why. The movie just tore a hole in my soul and didn't make me feel great.
Yeah,
but I still truly loved this movie. And I loved, what it did with, the basic plot. And I mean, a movie where Nicolas Cage gets his revenge by cooking a gourmet meal. Can't be all that bad, right?
Yeah. It's incredible. Just the emotional crushing that he gives him.
Yep.
with that food is so good.
And then, the unfortunate thing that happens almost immediately after, which you know what, I had held on to hope and was really pulling through for a happy resolution to the movie, but it did not.
Yeah. I texted you fairly early when I started the movie.
Yep.
That said something to the effect of, "God damn it, if anything horrible happens to this pig."
Yep.
And
I did not respond.
You did not, because that's fine.
I almost sent you a picture of my cat. Just have something to hold on to, I guess.
I mean, Choco pictures are always acceptable, regardless of the prompt.
All right, good to know.
But this, it felt inevitable.
Yeah,
and it wasn't on screen, so
no, not at all. No.
So that was good. But yeah, it's a bummer. It's a real bummer.
Yep. Oh, so this may be one of the best Nicolas Cage movies I've seen in quite a long time.
Yeah, it's probably the best dramatic Nicolas Cage movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Best overall being probably Raising Arizona, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I do have a special love for Drive Angry, however, so...
Right, did you guys do that on the Viewmasters? Or not on the Viewmasters, on Gutter Trash?
I don't think we did, no.
What podcast is this?
This is the Viewmasters, sir.
What?
Yep.
I thought this was League Night.
Sorry. That ended a while ago.
I thought this was Cage Match.
Now I don't.
Where we just do all the Nicolas Cage movies.
I mean, I would.
Jenny would be so mad.
Because she loves Nicolas Cage, or because he makes a lot of crap?
The latter.
Okay.
And she's not working right now, so she is in the room with me when I'm watching these movies.
Did she watch Pig with you?
She watched about 15 minutes of Pig until the pig got kidnapped.
Okay.
And then she went to sleep.
Okay, yeah.
and said when she wakes up, she hopes that everyone is reunited and everything is okay.
And that's what you told her, right?
Well, she was still asleep when I came in here to record,
okay.
So I'll tell her when we get done here.
Okay, that's good.
Or if I just never tell her, then the pig will always be okay, and she'll never know different.
That's true, but as we know...
No, that's the message of the movie: is ignorance is bliss. I thought.
I mean,
did I interpret this wrong?
I mean, it kind of is a universal truth,
right? I mean, there's a whole phrase about it. I just said
right?
it.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm a relatively dumb guy as is, but in high school. A friend of mine and I used to talk about how we wished we were dumber. just so we'd be happier.
Yeah, that's fair. I think animals have it good in that respect.
Yeah.
Some animals, anyway.
Yeah, very true. Oh, animals have it made, and honestly, Nick Cage at the beginning of this movie kind of has it made too.
He really does. Pig was so cute.
It was very cute. And I for sure would die if I had to live out in the woods by myself. But gosh, it was envious.
Yeah, I always think that I would want to do that, but I also know that I can't be alone with just my thoughts.
Sure.
So, I would need a TV at least.
I mean, he had a boombox.
That's true. All right.
With only the saddest reminder of his previous life.
That's true. All right. Yeah, he's doing fine.
No, yeah, he is a well-adjusted man.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh. This I just I'm a little bit devastated by this movie.
I think that's a reasonable response. So the plot basically is Nicolas Cage is a truffle farmer living out in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. And his best friend and only companion, his pig, is kidnapped. And so he goes off in search of it, and he sort of wrangles in the guy who is his big city contact, the person that he sells the truffles to. And they it's sort of a buddy movie between the two of them.
A little bit. I mean, they become friends by the end.
Yeah, I actually really liked how that played out between the two of them.
I did as well. I like Alex Wolff a lot too. I've seen him in a couple different things, and I thought he did a pretty good job in this movie. Especially scenes when. Like the scene when he goes to the nursing home.
Yes. That scene is devastating.
Yep, that broke me. And then a very similar scene where he talks to his father, through the door.
Yeah.
That whole thing, which just leads up to, the revenge meal that I mentioned earlier. Which I was very confused at, during the cooking montage.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I didn't really understand what was going on either.
Yeah.
Until like, I think it was when Amir's dad is like he takes a sip of the wine, and then he just sort of looks at it and then takes another sip of it, and that was when it clicked for me in my head, like, oh, this is that meal.
Yep.
So I don't know if I got it slower than you, but it did take me a little bit of time to catch on. But yeah, that hit hard.
Yeah, that was right around the time for me. I think when he poured the wine, that's sort of when it started dawning on me what was happening. And then, of course, we find out that Nicolas Cage has a superpower.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize this was a Marvel movie.
I mean, Nicolas Cage has always wanted to be a superhero.
That's true. He's a super taster in this movie.
Oh, is this like a weird side adaptation of Chew?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I almost don't know what to say about it, just because it's so good.
Yeah, and it honestly is just worth the experience.
Yes, yeah, no amount of talking about it will do justice to the experience of watching it.
Yeah, because at times it is also very fucking weird.
Yes.
Like the Fight Club scene.
Uh-huh. You mean the Beat Club? Because they're not really fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Just beating the shit out of somebody.
And yeah, just I think, especially nowadays, everybody has sort of an idea in their head of what a Nicolas Cage movie is like, and this is the opposite of it.
Yes.
Like even for all the weird direct to streaming video, whatever shit he does to like pay his back taxes or whatever, like he's never not giving 100%. like he always seems like he is just going all in on everything that he does.
Yeah.
But and he definitely is doing that here, but it is in a completely different manner than I think what people are used to. He is very, very understated. I don't think he even says a word until, like 10, 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Which,
at least not to another human.
Right. Which,
like he might say some stuff to his pig.
Yeah, I think he does, yeah. Yeah, he does talk to the pig early on. But yeah, for a minute I was like, is this another Willy's Wonderland thing happening here?
What is that?
Oh. So it's a movie that he stars in. It's sort of like, yeah, you know what Five Nights at Freddy's is?
Ish. I'm familiar with it.
It's a game where, like, you're a night watchman at a Showbiz Pizza type place, and the animatronics come to life and try to murder you.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So the movie is essentially that. Cage plays a guy who takes a gig cleaning up this old Showbiz Pizza-esque place, and the animatronics come to life and try to murder him.
Gotcha.
And he, fights back. But also, he has 0 lines through the entire movie.
Oh, wow.
No dialogue.
All right.
Yep.
Do the animatronics talk?
Yep. Yeah, there are other characters that show up and they all talk, but
okay.
He does not.
So it's not totally silent.
No,
That's interesting.
No. Yep. He makes some choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an entertaining movie. I would never call it good. But
That's
it
fair.
is also on Hulu, in case you're interested.
Good to know.
In fact, after watching this, Hulu then showed me that they have an entire Nicolas Cage collection.
That's awesome.
And it was like, 2 movies I'd actually heard of, and then a whole bunch of others I hadn't.
Nice. Did he do a movie called Bangkok Dangerous?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was a real thing or like a fake movie that I'd seen somewhere.
Nope, that is real, and I think maybe one of his last, in theater movies.
Okay.
At least, at the time, 'cause
Sure.
I think Pig, went to theaters, but it is a small independent film, so probably did not get a very wide screening, and also came out in the middle of a fucking pandemic that's still going on.
Right. It came out in the now times.
Yeah.
Not the before times.
Not the before times.
The roaring 20s.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I could not recommend this movie enough, but also probably only to, specific people.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I'm still clearly just processing the movie, and also the fact that you've never seen Babe, and so you had no idea what I was doing at the beginning of the podcast really just completely threw me off.
I am sorry.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, well, now you know how I felt, because I had no idea what the fuck was happening.
I thought you liked George Miller.
I do like George Miller.
Well, then watch his filmography.
Yeah. That is not one I had ever seen. I know That'll Do, Pig. That's why last week was so funny.
Gotcha. See, you thinking it was so funny last week was like, oh man, I'm really gonna get him this time. And I told Jenny, I was like, so I introduced it this week, and this is what I'm gonna do, and she just looked at me like, I wouldn't do that. And I said, no, I think Eric will think it's really funny. She was right. She'll be excited to know how right she was. That's her favorite thing. Is when I'm wrong and I look like a dumbass.
Oh, Joe.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with it.
All right. Well, I love you.
But I would, I would recommend it with the caveat that it may emotionally devastate you.
Yeah. Although, I don't know. On the other hand, if I'd have known that going in, would I have enjoyed it as much? And I guess
That's true.
Enjoy in the loosest term possible there.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if you don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, we've already spoiled the fuck out of this movie, so
Right,
we can't really say best to go in blind. But anyone who's listening wants to recommend it to somebody else, by all means, tell them to go in blind.
I almost feel like even knowing the plot is just a small part. This is primarily a character drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's plenty of that still to be experienced and enjoyed, with even already knowing, the sort of broad strokes of what happens.
Yeah. And if you like food, there's some good cooking shots.
Yeah, there is. I'm a Top Chef fan.
Sure.
So that was exciting. I enjoy people talking about food.
I learned that it's best to make French toast with stale bread. So
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I never would have thought that.
Me
yeah.
Either. Not that I'm making French toast here and there, but
I mean, I've made it a few times, and I always make it with not stale bread, and it's always been like not as good as what you get in a restaurant. And now I feel like I know why.
There you go. So this movie helped you grow as a person.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what happens.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Go and hug someone you love immediately, everybody.
Yes. Hug a loved one, hug a pet.
Yep.
Hug yourself.
Yeah, why not?
If you can. Hug a pillow.
I mean, go for it, yeah. Well, now that, everything is bleak and dark, is there anything that brought you joy in the past week?
Oh, God. We speaking of bleak and dark, we started watching Euphoria.
Okay.
On HBO, and that show is stressful. It is teenagers making poor decisions constantly.
I mean, isn't that
but
just
like
teenagers?
But like big swings, like drug addicts and dangerous sex, and it's dark and like I said, very stressful. But it's also very good. Like, all the performances are really good. I wouldn't say that it brings me joy, but I really appreciate watching it and the care that went into making it and how good everyone in the show is.
Sure.
Trying to think of something that actually made me happy. I don't know. Yeah. Little House on the Prairie.
I mean, hey, why not?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was something, but it escapes me. I've had a weird day, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
I started off the day reading the final issue of May's book.
Oh God!
So I'm just bookending everything on just tearful sadness.
That series destroyed me.
Yeah, yep. Speaking of Zendaya, this is not my joy for the week, but my girlfriend made me watch The Greatest Showman yesterday.
All right, nice.
A musical.
Yes.
Infamously a musical. It is very, very musical-like.
It is.
Lots of singing and dancing. But you know what? She had a great time watching it, so that made me, happy. And I thought the movie was, fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine for completely glossing over all of the questionable parts of history, but yeah, the performances are good, and I think Zendaya and Zac Efron are fine, and I'll always enjoy Hugh Jackman. So
sure, and it's a very pretty and well put together movie, and it's also very trite and pandering. But also, some of that shit really affected me. And it kind of worked, and I was like, all right, I was like, if there had been no music in this movie, I probably would have been fully on board. to hiding what a goddamn monster P.T. Barnum was. But the thing that actually brought me joy this week, I listened to the Bonanas for Bonanza podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So since it's been back on CBB World, they've switched up the format a little bit. So they rotate. And so one week is like the straight up, Bananas for Bonanza episode. Then they do the bonus Nanza for Bonanza.
It's bonus nanas for bonus Nanza.
Okay, yeah. Which is usually like a mailbag, or it's just Dalton and Mutt talking about whatever.
Right.
And then the third week is like, just any of Andy Daly's other characters, coming into rotation. And there has been a series, and this week culminated with I love He Loves Movies. Which is like the third in a series of Andy Daly's hot dog character doing a movie podcast with Matt Gorley's Ahi character, and inexplicably Mark McConville as Joe Walsh.
Right.
And I don't think I have laughed as hard during a podcast as I have during those particular episodes.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the most recent one, but yeah, there's something like I had trouble getting into it at first, like Matt Gorley's whatever accent he's doing.
He comes from an island that is equidistant from New Zealand and Australia.
I know, that's why I said whatever accent, because it's not Australian and it's not New Zealand.
Well, they named the island in this episode, so...
Spoilers!
There's something to look forward to.
But yeah, that show, in all of its iterations, I love the Andy Daly podcast project.
Andy Daly is just amazing. Been a fan of his since Mad TV. So, when I started listening to podcasts and he would appear regularly, I just would get very excited. And I'm still trying to also figure out a way to force my girlfriend to watch a review.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, right?
There's I think not the most recent one, but the previous He Loves Movies or whatever it is, I forget. But they're like, they somehow start talking about food and they start talking about pancakes. And oh my god, I cried. I have not laughed that hard at a podcast in a long time.
That is still my favorite episode of that show. And oh yes, so that is my joy. The Andy Daly podcast project in general, I guess.
Excellent. That's an excellent choice. I guess that's bringing me joy as well. I'll steal yours.
That's
because I really like that show.
That is perfectly fair. Do you have a movie that you would like to pick? Maybe, hopefully, something slightly uplifting.
I have one in mind.
Okay. It doesn't have to be uplifting.
Have you seen The Eternals?
I have.
But
okay. I will watch it again.
You'll watch it again?
I will watch it again, yeah.
Okay. Then let's do The Eternals.
Okay, alright.
Since that is now on Disney Plus and free for, Disney Plus subscribers to watch.
Great. I saw it in the theater when it came out, and I have opinions.
Okay.
but I have not seen it since, and, as always, my experience at movie theaters is usually not great.
Sure.
So, I'm interested in seeing, what a quiet time at home viewing will be like. But also, I think I did really want to talk to you about it whenever you saw it, so this is the perfect forum for it.
Excellent. All of our discussions have to be recorded, so we might as well do it for a podcast and not just for my personal collection.
Exactly. Wait, what?
No, what did I say? Eternals.
Sounds good.
Bar you.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.